Welcome to One Insight. My name is Rich Litvin. I grew up in London and I now live in LA. And this is a podcast for extraordinary top performers. You see, I've coached some of the most successful and talented people on the planet. I see what most people cannot see, and I dare to say what most people wouldn't dare to say. And what I know about success is that on the other side of it, it can actually be lonely. You can feel like more of an imposter the more successful you become. And when you're the most interesting person in the room, you're actually in the wrong room. I coach around insight. Life looks one way, something happens, the world looks different, and your entire world changes. It can happen in an instant. And this podcast is called One Insight because a single insight can change everything. Hi, and wow. The world has changed fast since I recorded the last episode of this podcast. My intention with this season was to really draw out powerful stories from my clients. But I got on the call with Parisa and I said, what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? And then we dived in. And what I do in this episode is help to draw out ways that you can serve people right now. Bring your gifts as a coach in a really powerful way. We're at a moment where lots of coaches and consultants are in fear mode, and you don't have to be. There are ways to serve. And these are the timeless principles I've taught for almost 15 years now. And I draw them out one at a time in this conversation. It's very powerful. It's extremely timely and will be extremely valuable if you put them into practice. And I'd love, after you've heard this, if you would get in touch and let me know what the biggest insight you had was from this podcast. I've just created a pop-up Facebook group to support my wider community of coaches. It's called Serve, Lead, Serve. Just put Serve, Lead, Serve into Facebook or put my name into Facebook. You'll find a post I just wrote that will give you the link to that. And come and join us. We're creating this community of coaches where we can support one another, and I can teach these concepts day after day in the weeks ahead. All right, let me let you jump into this conversation with me and Parisa and watch where it goes.
Hi, Rich.
Hello, Parisa.
How are you?
It's nice to see you. Yeah, I deliberately chose not to ask you that question. It's too complicated to answer right now.
I know. It was a reflex. Well meant and well intended, though.
I get it. Yeah, I'm thinking of you. We set this up for a purpose today, and we can change that. I'm here to support you, and so the idea is that we record this and put this out to the community. Initially, it was to tell your story, draw out who you are in the world, which is a really powerful exercise to do, and we can still do that, or we can do something different.
Thank you. I'm so immensely appreciative of you generally, but definitely in this moment as well. So let me tell you what's been on my mind the last couple of days, and maybe we can play with that. How would that be for you?
That would be great.
So as you know, I'm really playing with the 3D leader thing. And it occurred to me that...
So 3D leaders, remind me of that distinction.
The 3D leaders are difficult, dismissive, divisive. I know you would say divisive. Yeah. But these are the people that are high performing, high value to an organization, but how they're engaging internally with their colleagues, their teams, and maybe sometimes their clients are starting to diminish their value. And there gets to be an inflection point where they can continue to add value to an organization if the organization wants to be present with them, or the inflection point can go in a direction no one would like, and their value is negative compared to the behaviors they're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So where I'm at with this is This is a time actually to double down on caring for your 3D leaders before we get to that inflection point. The normal thing to do is to just pray it away or just deal with it and say, oh, that's so-and-so just being so-and-so. But now everyone is working from home, and they will be working from home for an unknown period of time. And so alignment with goals, alignment with values, alignment with what success looks like becomes even more critical because people aren't sitting next to one another. If we have a 3D leader in our midst and we don't address how the 3D leader shows up, we're already at these very tenuous bonds. Everyone's already really stressed out. Our tolerance for a 3D leader's behavior or our company's tolerance may not be quite what it was under normal circumstances. And we can agree that under normal circumstances, they shouldn't be tolerating it anyway. They should be addressing it. But I'm playing with this idea right now that doubling down and really speaking about this might be an interesting way to serve. It's risky as hell. I'm scared to double down on it. It's not going to be the only thing I'm talking about, but I really do believe my gut, my intuition is telling me to double down on it. I'm going to pitch 3D leaders as a brilliant session. That's how much I'm doubling down on it. So that's what I'd like to play with today is seeing it, being really scared, but believing that it's the right thing to do in this moment.
Let me ask you a couple of sideways questions. I love your commitment to this idea that there are some leaders who create chaos in an organization. Actually, if you, rather than kicking them out, if you finally tune them and support them, they can really help you to thrive, the company to thrive, and themselves too. And this is a world you really know and understand. You've worked with these kind of leaders many times in the past.
And I have been that person.
Okay. I wanted you to say that out loud, not me. So,
fair enough.
So let me ask you this. Who are your clients? Are they the CEOs? Are they the organizations? Are they the leaders themselves who are the ones who are facing these challenges? Who do your clients tend to be?
Great question. So I'm finding that there are two buckets of clients. There are clients who are having their own eureka moments where they say, oh my God, I'm becoming this person and I'm developing a reputation that I don't want to have. So they are wanting to head themselves off at the path. They're a little bit more self-aware, but they don't know how to change or stop that 3D leader-ish. I'm having conversations with those types of people. But more of the conversations are coming from people who have decision-making roles. Sometimes it is, in some cases, it's been a chief human resources officer who has that decision-making role. Mm-hmm. In other instances, it's the person who is the manager of that person that's saying, I want to champion this person, but things need to change. So those are the two buckets. People who have decision-making and want to champion and invest in this person, and then people who are aware that something bad will happen in terms of their behavior if they don't stop it.
Who writes the checks? Who's the person who usually pays you?
It's a good question. So in all of my conversations so far, it's been company sponsored. Even though there's this person that says my company is going to pay for my coaching and this is, but I am like taking the charge for it. it's all the conversations have been the company is paying for it.
So what that means right now is what your mission has to become is asking yourself and then seeking the information. What's the biggest challenge? What's the single biggest challenge these companies have right now? And how can what I do and what I know and my experience help them? It might turn out that it's helping these leaders who created all sorts of challenges. But what I also know about you is that you can work with any kind of leader. You're not afraid to speak truth to power. You're not afraid to tell leaders what needs to be done. You're not afraid to talk to the C-suite executives and sit down with them and look honestly and openly at what's going on. And that's what's needed right now. And so whether it turns out that it's down this hole of looking at these leaders who created chaos in the past, or whether it's something else, the question that will really create value for you and for people out in the world is, what's your biggest challenge right now?
Yeah. In the discovery conversations I've been having with the people that are the decision makers, I've been having more strategic conversations with them. You know, what are the goals? How does this person kind of align with the goals? Why is this person so critical to the team? So it sounds like what you might be saying is doubling down further on those questions that I've been asking. Do I have that right?
Maybe. I'll tell you the direction I'm thinking is we're in unusual circumstances right now. And organizations all over the planet are looking radically and drastically at what they're going to do next, and how long will things go on for, and what changes do I need to make, and how prepared do I need to be. You're born for this moment. Everything you've done has trained you in how to handle risk at a high level, handle decision-making at a high level, understanding how to mitigate risk, understanding how to deal with challenging circumstances. Is there anything I just said that's not true?
No, it's all true.
And that quiet confidence when you just said, yep, that's all true, that's what they need right now. So instead of selling a solution, which was valuable 2 weeks ago, right now, our job is not to sell anything, is to find out what's going on, what's the biggest problem you have, can I help? We have to, more than ever before, come from this real service mindset and a very long-term mindset. Yeah, I've got no doubt that leaders right now are going to strategy immediately. And as transformational coaches, we can know that unless you do the deep work, unless you looked at yourself, doesn't matter what strategy you put in place, but you have to meet people where they're at. And right now, if someone's in fear, if someone's in doubt, and someone's insecure, if they've just got their numbers from the CFO and they're wondering, can they even make payroll this month or next month, then they may want your counsel, guidance, advice, and support. You are a trusted advisor to high-level leaders. Trusted so much that they'll give you their most difficult people until now. From now on, let's find out what they want. If it's that, if it's handling challenging people, you can help. If it's giving a high-level leader confidence, you can help. If a high-level leader wants to put a strategy in place to mitigate the risk of what's coming, you can help. Your only job right now is to say, what's going on? Well, what's the biggest challenge you have right now?
Yeah. So let me tell you what's coming up for me. I feel like lots of people are asking that question. There's any number of emails. I'm being invited to free webinars. I'm being invited. So there is and I do believe that the intentions are good. I'm not questioning their motives. everyone wants to help, everyone wants to serve. There's serving, and there's serving powerfully. Mm-hmm. And the thing that's coming up for me right now is, I know my essence is that I can serve powerfully. I don't doubt that, right? The last time you and I were on a podcast, I had told you that I had new coach smell. I'm like over it, right? Now I'm like, I know I can serve powerfully. I'm wondering how to break through the noise so that I can connect with people powerfully and serve them powerfully. I'm not
That's a great question. No, that's a great question. It's a really important question. How do I break through the noise? Because you are right. Every coach, every consultant on the planet right now is filling their Facebook feed with ideas for running online group trainings. Every LinkedIn post has got videos sharing, like, here's my skill set. And in the comments, when people say, wow, this is interesting training, I'm like, well, let me tell you about my program. You can come and work with me for 6 months and I'll train you. This is an even more noisy world online than it was 2 weeks ago. So what you have to come back to is the premise of The Prosperous Coach, the book that we wrote 7 years ago, which is about one conversation at a time. This is not about what Facebook ad can I put out there, what can I write for LinkedIn. This is about, who do I know? So I'll tell you a number of things that I'm doing right now, and we can see what fits. First of all, double down on your current clients. Think of every current client and what do they need? Ask them that question. What do you need most right now? What's your biggest challenge right now? How can you go beyond the call of duty for client astonishment? Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we jump on a call once every afternoon about 4 p.m. just for 5 minutes where you can check in with me and set a goal for tomorrow. And then we'll do it the next day and the next day. And maybe I'll check in with you about how you're taking care of yourself as well. What can you do to astonish your current clients? It won't take much. You know, because what I've done, one of the things I've done for my current clients is I've set up 2 early morning calls where all my current clients, whether they're in a group or one-on-one, can jump on and ask me any question and we can be there together and support each other. I've given 30 minutes of time with my high-level strategic assistant to every one of my clients who wants some support right now. I'm constantly thinking of ways that I can really double down and support my current clients. Mm-hmm. That's not business building. I don't make any more money from that. It's just, these are my people. I want to take care of them. And I know that energy out always equals energy back. It's not that if I give this to you, you'll give something back to me. It's just, energy goes out, it will come back from some direction.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Have a look at all your current clients. What do you most need right now? Hey, I know we don't have a call for 2 weeks. Do you want to jump on a call tomorrow? All sorts of things like this will astonish them. So just, where can you serve them? You've got 3 one-on-one clients, right to each of them. Hey, Jim, I've got 3 one-on-one clients right now. What I'm going to invite all of them to do is every Monday and Friday to jump on a little group call with me, whereas on top of all the one-on-one support, together we can be their support, and I can support, and you can hear other people going through their stuff. Where can you create more value for your current clients? That's number one. Mm-hmm. Anything come from that before I go on to the next one?
So I offered to coach a client's wife because she's starting to, I don't want to say freak out, that sounds judgy, but she's starting to be a little bit more anxious. Yeah. And so I told him that I would be happy to coach her because these are uncertain times. So I feel like I've been doing it, and I've also been reconnecting with past clients to say, hey, I'm here if you want that sounding board. And then also people who have decided that it's a no for now, I've also told them, regardless, I don't want you to feel like we can't have a conversation. And I'm going to without stalking them, ping them every once in a while to see how things are going for them. So I do have a cadence of that going on, and I will continue to do that.
Right. So that's great. What you went to was to my second point. So that one is serving your current clients. The second piece is serving everyone who's ever worked with you. And I love that idea of, hey, how's your spouse doing? Do they need some support? You know, this is what I'm seeing in all my clients right now, that while they're the money earner, they have a spouse at home who is not feeling so secure. Would you like a 30-minute call for your spouse? Check in with them if they'd like that. That's on me. That's a beautiful idea. Then there's people who've said, oh, I'm interested to work with you. Now's not the right time. 2 months ago, you made a proposal and they said, I'll come back to you. Yeah, reaching out to each of those and saying, and I want to put this distinction about how to reach out at this moment in time. Our inboxes are being flooded with emails from every business coach consultant on the planet who's nervous and thinks, well, let me tell you about my free webinars. And so the personal approach really works. Picking up your phone and making a 20-second video that you can text or WhatsApp to somebody is so intimate. Emails, inbox is just full. Even a text message, on days to like right now, we get 30 text messages in a day and it gets lost. But a little video message is very intriguing and we tend to click on it. And hey, Fred, I was thinking of you. It was 2 months ago we spoke and we were talking about coaching. That's off the table. I'm not offering that right now. It's not what you need. But I'm literally every morning going through the list of people that I know and asking myself one question: who might need support right now? And so I want you to know that I've helped leaders deal with high-level risk for years. I've done it myself for 2 decades. I help leaders mitigate risk. I help leaders get a sense of deep confidence in challenging circumstances. If you want to jump on a call for 10 minutes to brainstorm some ideas to get you through the months ahead, text me back and I'm in. There's no charge for that. This is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. What I've been playing with is I've reached out to really close contacts of mine, and I've told them that I'm offering, and I'm not putting it out into the ether, but I'm offering private kind of coaching office hours. If they feel like they need it, or if they feel like someone on their teams may need it, just to feel kind of supported in this moment.
How have you done that? How have you let them know? Because what I just described, I want to capture what I just described so it's really clear. What I described was a 20 to 30 second video text message. How have you done this reach out?
So now what I'm going to do is, I was doing it on email, and you're right. Emails, half the emails we don't get to, more often than not, it's just delete. I'm uncomfortable on video. I'm very uncomfortable on video. But the last couple of days I've recorded videos, because if there's ever a time to lean into uncertainty, it's the times where everyone's uncertain. So I'm going to shift to that 20-second video. And it doesn't have to, I'm making it be like it needs to be high production. It doesn't. I just need to hold up my phone to my face and do it. Yeah.
That's really important to catch that. And it's supposed to be personal. It's not supposed to be professional. You're not supposed to have great lighting and makeup. Right. It's, hey, Jim, I was thinking of you. And then you jump into that conversation. I'm going to read to you, because I wrote this out as a message this morning to my community about how to do this. So let me read the wording that you might use. But here's some key distinctions to this. Only ever send it to one person at a time. It has to be really specific and to their needs. Right. Hey, Jim, I was thinking of you. The last time we talked, you told me X, Y, Z. this is not supposed to be a video that you post on Facebook or LinkedIn or
Right.
goes out to an email list.
Right. It's one-on-one.
You adapt it to your specific talent and skills. So you'll hear me do a generic one, but you'll tweak the wording in a second. You can do this as an email, but it's the personal approach to a video that will work on a little text message. But you can also say it out loud to a client at the end of a session. So let me tell you what I would say if I was doing a little video message. So you open your phone as a message from me. Hey, Parisa, my gift is coaching high-level leaders, and I wanted to let you know that for the next month, I'm blocking out Fridays, 2 hours in the morning on every single Friday. It's a pro bono session. It's my way that I can make a difference right now. There's not much way I can contribute out there in the world, but if I use my gifts, I can make a real difference. So if there's a leader in your team who you think would benefit from support right now, because they either want to still their nerves, brainstorm some ideas for strategy, or build a sense of confidence right now when everyone feels this sense of chaos, that's what I do. I've done it for years. Just message me back. We'll work out a time. Or let me know if there's someone who you think could benefit. It's what I'm doing right now every Friday. And if it's not for you, that's fine. I'm just sending you some love right now. Take care.
Yep.
See that especially at the end, making it personal, at the beginning, making it personal. It's a little bit generic in the middle because you got to describe who you are and your gifts.
Yeah.
But what are the three things that leaders need right now? They want to calm themselves. They want a sense of confidence. They want some ideas about strategy. That's it. Don't mention coaching right now. It's not generic coaching, but there's real power in a personal invitation right now.
Yep.
And it's not the time. You got to put humility to one side. Hey, Jim, I'm an expert in working with leaders in challenging circumstances. I've done it for 20 years. I've worked with some of the most challenging people in organizations, and I've worked with the C-suite leaders in organizations. I'm not afraid to speak truth to power. That's you. It's time to own it.
Got it.
So let me tell you the third distinction. Number one, how can you double down on your current clients? Number two, how can you reach out to people who don't yet know you? Number three is your clients' clients or your customers' customers, 2 levels deep. So I know you heard me saying this the other day, but for everyone who's listening right now, your clients are people who are business owners, who are doing something out in the world, and you can work with them on what's going on for them. But if you can help them find out what's going on for their clients or customers right now, and how can they be served, then it's fantastic. So I helped somebody the other day who's a coach who shared that he's been working with a cleaning company who are really worried that they're going to go out of business. No one's using their services. And he was helping them to say, well, who might need your services right now? Actually, what if you could go in and do a deep clean if someone had the virus in an office space? What if you became known as, like, we come in and handle emergency situations for cleaning? We're no longer the long-term care cleaning place. We do something very specific and very needed. And we've got all the protections to do a deep clean. Where can you go 2 layers deep to see what your clients need and your customers need? And the simple way is to just say to them, hey, tell me, what's the biggest challenge your clients have right now? What's the biggest problem your customers are facing right now? Let's brainstorm. How do we help them?
So would that be also in the form of like a video message you'd be sending, is posing that question?
Well, no, I think that gets too complicated then. No, this is right now, start with your current clients.
Yeah.
And then whoever says yes to being in a conversation with you. I found every conversation I have right now, people get on and we say, hi, how are you? And we say, wow, this is a strange moment in life. And then the next thing I say is, hey, tell me, I'm curious. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? I don't need any preamble anymore. They just jump straight in. Everyone is very aware of what the biggest challenge they have. It guides the conversation in a millisecond to where we need to go. So I got on a call the other day with a really fascinating entrepreneur who's built numerous companies, done amazing things. And we spent 10 minutes because he's dealing with an elderly parent who he's worried about. I just let him tell me what's going on. And sometimes people just want to be heard at this moment in time. 10 minutes he was sharing what's going on. And I said, what's the biggest challenge you have right now? He said, well, I've got these 2 companies I'm running right now. Let me tell you about one of them. We spent 10 more minutes brainstorming ideas to help that company. And he said, wow, Rich, that was amazing. Could you do that for my other company? I said, sure. And we did that again for his other company. You've got this gift, this ability to be strategic, to look at what an individual needs, what a leader needs, what needs to be said that's not being said, what's being said that shouldn't be said. All you have to ask right now is, what's your biggest challenge?
Yeah. I've been scheduling virtual coffees. I've been going through people I know. And it's just, I mean, in real life, I'd either be having lunch or coffee with them. There's nothing stops me from having virtual coffee with them. So I've been scheduling them. And it's not only what they're facing, but it's what they believe their clients are facing too, is what you were saying. And it's a fair question, you know, because what's keeping them up at night is what's keeping their clients up at night. And then it just kind of keeps on, it keeps on going.
So it's a great question. Virtual coffee is lovely. What a strange world we're in so quickly. And at the same time, this can just be a friend. Hey, what's going on? Tell me, you know, what's keeping you up at night? That's a great question. And when they start to tell you, then you can say, hey, I can help you with that. Or when they say to you, what's keeping you up at night? Say, well, you know, actually, it's not so much what's keeping me up at night. It's I've got this amazing talent and gift. And right now, there are people who need it. I want to find a way that I can really be of service. Do you know anyone like this? And then you describe the high-level CEOs and leaders you work with and say, this is what I do. I've done it for years. I work with leaders who are handling risky situations. And I help work with leaders who need to have challenging conversations with people. This is what I do. And do you know anyone like that? Marisa, let's pause here because I think we've shared some really powerful distinctions I'd like to leave this conversation with. I want to wrap this by reminding people that if you're listening, everything I've taught for over a decade has been about taking a long-term approach to building business. It's about putting service first, about really being there of service to other people. And now more than ever before, we have to come from this service mindset. How can I serve? How can I be there for you? Everything I've taught for years has been about the singular versus the plural. One powerful conversation at a time. And in this moment in time, where everyone is going to the, how can I get my message out to thousands and thousands of people? When we slow down to connect with one person at a time, everything will shift. It's counterintuitive. When we get scared, it feels like we need to move really fast. But actually, the slower you move, the more powerful you will be in this moment. We had something in my team the other day where someone took an action because they were trying to act really fast. And because of this action, we then had to do another 5 actions to clean it up because something went wrong because they were going fast. And so slowing down to speed up is also more important now than ever before. And what I know about you is that you have done this for years. You know how to help people in challenging situations because you know how to handle challenging situations. I believe in you. You've got this. And when you clear the decks to look long-term, who can I serve? Who can I speak to today? Who can I connect with? What's your problem? What's keeping you up at night? And you put your attention out there, You'll get past all the stories about, can I be okay on video? It's like, who cares? I don't care if I haven't got my makeup on today. I'm going to just, if I can help one person, then I've made a difference in the world. Thanks, Parisa.
Thank you.
For most of human history, it wasn't called coaching, it was called leadership. And it's what I love to do, to coach people, to lead people, and to mess with people's thinking. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like to learn more about our community of extraordinary top performers, go to richlitvin.com/oneinsight.